Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is May the 26th, 2025. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Happy Memorial Day to ya. Happy Monday to ya. Holiday edition lasagna coming right up, coming right at ya. Hopefully you get yourself a couple of servings. Hopefully today has been good for you. I'm coming at you a little bit earlier than usual for a Monday, but we love it. You know, it's nice getting to relax. Hopefully you're getting to relax. And if you're not able to relax today, if it's a working day for you, hopefully you're making that extra overtime pay. I always love to hear that. I always love to see that. Because if you got to toil on a holiday where people are out and blah, blah, blah and doing whatever, at least get your bag. At least get your extra bag, So but as for me, today has been good. We got some rest. As usual on a Sunday, I tend to go to bed a little too early and wake up a little too early. But with a holiday, we kind of get to lean into that. So I want to say I got up around 9 o'clock because I knew I had to get up and go to the gym before they closed earlier today since it was a holiday. So I was like, all right, let's get up, have a little snack, have a little, cold coffee, and we'll get our ass up to the gym, move some weight. So that's what we did. It's another light day, and just still doing maintenance. I will say I'm still sore, and my shoulder, like my kind of right shoulder area around my neck, it's kind of a little ink. But that's okay. I'm hoping that throughout the week, as we progress through the week, I'm feeling a little bit better. Get closer to 100% for max lift day come Friday. Friday, Saturday. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. But as for today, it was nice. It was busy. It was a busy day. Mondays typically are, especially because everyone's trying to get in before it closes early. Also, there was an added thing of there's another location, like Planet Fitness, that is closed down for renovations. And so we've kind of had a bit of a migration of other people. But it's been kind of nice because I did get to see one of my friends. He used to be a coworker, actually been on the pod before. Actually, shout out to you, Chris. What's up, what's up? But got to see him. And he hadn't seen me since the last time he was on the pod. So he was like, dude, you look so different. I didn't even recognize you. And I'm like, thank you. So yeah, it was good to see the homie. Talk to some people, get my pump on. Overall, a good time was had at the gym, all things considered. Let's see. After the gym, I wanted to get a few more groceries, actually. So I went and got some like fruit and stuff like that. I picked up this little treat that I had couple of. It was a Reese's peanut butter and banana frozen treat. And I've been kind of eyeing these over the past couple months because my friends have had them. I've seen some people eat them, and they're like, "Oh, they're so good." So I was like, "All right, I'll try it." I know it's not really health conscious or whatever, but sometimes you just want a little sweet treat. I think ever since I've had those chocolate covered pistachios, I've been like feeling away. I'm like, I don't mind having a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of fruit. It's like it's a little guilty, it's a little healthy. You feel okay. It's a nice little balance. So I got to try that, and it was pretty good. I will definitely be finishing the bag, hopefully slowly, hopefully with some restraint. But yeah, it was yummy. It was good. Let's see. Is there really anything else to report on the day? I would say no, but I do have a bit of a food corner to talk about. Last night, I did it a little extra for my chicken and rice bowl. Y'all know how I've been talking about sweet potatoes. I've been talking about cucumbers. And I decided to get a couple of those, Sunday from the store. And I got a sweet potato that I sliced in half, took half a cucumber, and I went ahead and put it in the mix. Now, in terms of the cucumber, I made like this olive oil, soy sauce, gochujang, kind of red pepper flake situation. Got a little sauce going for it, and mixed that all in. For the sweet potato, I put it through the air fryer, got it nice and mushy, and the skin was nice and crispy. I seasoned it up a little bit, put some butter, put some olive oil on, and it was good. It was yummy. Obviously, we're not talking really the healthiest thing here anymore, but in terms of just like a good, I guess like protein bowl situation, it delivered, and it was very yummy. So I would definitely do it again. I would say not an everyday thing for me. I don't think I need all of that, and plus, like going through the extra cookery of a sweet potato is kind of unnecessary, to me every day. But every once in a while is a nice little treat, nice little, you earn this. Why not have something nice? And it was just a good combination of flavors. I really liked it all in a bowl with some chicken, and some rice. So it hit. It was nice. Let's see here. There's really not much else. Wait. Oh, one more thing. I finally got my onigiri. I got two things of onigiri. I only had one last night, but it was a crab salad onigiri. Now, I really wanted the salmon one, and they just didn't have that one at the time. But I was like, you know what? I don't care. I just want it. So I got it, and it delivered. It was so good. It was so hitting. I will say it was a lot of rice, just because I already had a chicken and rice bowl. But overall, worth it. Totally, totally solid. Eventually, I ate my way through it, and then just put the rest of it in the bowl. So it was a situation. It was good. All right. So yeah, that was a food corner. That was my Sunday. That is my Memorial Day. So yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup. And let's get into some news. I will say a little drink corner, I guess, a little bev situation. Um, I got this Rheingeist like wine-ish kind of situation, I guess. For wine volume, it's kind of low in terms of alcohol volume, but I mean it's like 8%. So overall, really, really good. I don't know what you would call it. Just one of the things that my homie had, and he was just trying to get rid of them. And it was a skeleton brute white, I think is what it's called. But it's pretty yummy. I'm more of a red guy for talking wine. But whatever this is, it's gonna totally work. And y'all know free is me. So yeah, I've already done a taste test on it. It's good. It's yummy. I was drinking it over the weekend. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'll do a little startup and we'll get into it. Y'all know I would love a Milwaukee's Best sponsor or a Rhine Guy sponsor. I'd take a Rhine Guy sponsor. I could drink Cincy Lights for the pod. I could do that. Mm. Yeah, this is really good. Oh, all right. Let's go ahead. Start with the story from Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera. Israeli attacks killed dozens in Gaza, including 36 in school turned shelter. Israeli attacks have killed more than 50 people in the Gaza Strip since dawn on Monday, including 36 in a school turned shelter that was struck as people slept, setting their belongings ablaze, according to local health officials. The attack on the Fahmy Jawawi, I'm getting that wrong, I'm sorry. We're going to say Jawawi school in Daraj neighborhood of Gaza City also wounded dozens of people, said Fahmy Hawad, head of the Gaza Ministry of Health's emergency service. He said a father and his 5 children were among the dead. The Al Shifa and Al Hali hospitals in Gaza confirmed the overall toll. So yeah, I just wanted to, bring that update just to kind of start us off. Obviously really sad, very upsetting, but, I would be remiss to not mention it. Obviously there's a lot of stuff going on in the area. There's ceasefire talks and things of that nature. There's talks about aid, but we'll wait and we'll see when that becomes any hopefully more concrete, and maybe we can talk about that in the week if it transpires. But yeah, let's go ahead and move along. From ABC News, shooting on South Carolina charter boat leaves 11 injured. At least 11 people were injured Saturday night when gunfire erupted during a Memorial Day weekend gathering on a dock charter boat in Little River, South Carolina, police said. Horry County Police said in an online statement Monday morning, that 10 of the people hurt in the shooting were hospitalized with gunshot wounds. Excuse me, including one who was in critical but stable condition. An 11th victim suffered a non-gunfire related injury, police said. A motive for the shooting remains under investigation, and detectives are working to identify those responsible for the shooting. So yeah, there's more details here, but not much in terms of what caused this or anything like that. If I do find any more of those kind of details, we'll be back to the story. We'll be back to South Carolina, say more. But I would say this was maybe the highlight episode that I really want, or the highlight of the episode that I wanted to get into. This one's from The Guardian. This was a pretty kooky little story. Crypto investor in New York charged in kidnapping and torture plot. A cryptocurrency investor was arraigned in Manhattan criminal court on Saturday morning and charged with kidnapping an Italian man and then beating and torturing him for several weeks, allegedly to extract cryptocurrency passwords. The 37-year-old crypto investor, John Woltz, was arrested on Friday after allegedly torturing the man in a swanky home in the upscale Manhattan neighborhood of Soho. The victim reportedly escaped the 5-story home on Friday and sought help from the police, who later arrested Woltz. According to the New York Times, the police found Polaroid photos inside the home that documented the weeks-long torture. Woltz and 2 accomplices allegedly detained and tortured the 28-year-old man in the home. Woltz had been renting for roughly $30,000 a month. The alleged victim told the police he arrived in the U.S. on May 6th when he was kidnapped by Woltz. Now, I've heard Woltz described as the crypto king of Kentucky. I've never heard of this guy before, and I don't know if this was just something he was just trumping up as kind of an illusion, or this was just part of his grift, and then he was going to get people into these kind of situations. I don't know how many times this guy's done this. If this is his first major time, or this is just kind of how he makes his money. I don't know. But this immediately, when I started hearing rumblings of the story, I was like, okay, tell me more. What's going on? The Times reports that Woltz and another man stole the victim's devices and passport, and demanded he give up his Bitcoin password so they could steal his cryptocurrency. When the victim refused, the weeks-long torture began. The victim told police Woltz and the other man beat him, shocked him, hit him with a gun, and pointed it at his head, and dangled him from the top of the 5-story home, threatening to kill him. They also cut his leg with a saw, he said, threatened to kill his family, and forced him to smoke crack cocaine. The New York Daily News reported. I don't know why, and I know it's fucked up, but the crack part really was what are we doing here? What do you mean? Were you trying to get him so fucked up on crack that he was just gonna, okay, fine, I'll give you my password. This is just so wild that I feel this crew of knuckleheads decided oh yeah, we're just gonna Three Stooges this motherfucker until he coughs up the password, and then the guy gets away. Also, I'm thinking as I'm saying this shit, how did like no one in this swanky ass fucking apartment complex or whatever the fuck like hear or see any of this shit and go, maybe I should like check that or call like. But hey, I mean, I guess it's New York, and I mean, if it's not New York, I get it. It's like, hey man, none of my business, not my problem. Keep your head down. But like, damn, like they doing this motherfucker like Batman. They just like dangling a motherfucker outside the fucking, building. They doing shit like Blanket, like you Michael Jackson. So, sorry. Reports say that Woltz refused to speak with the police and retained legal representation immediately. He was arraigned on Saturday on 4 felony counts, including kidnapping with intent to collect ransom, and pleaded not guilty. Judge Eric Schumacher ordered that he be remanded without bail. A 24-year-old woman was also arrested on Friday, although she was confronted by a reporter while walking freely on a New York street on Saturday, and the Guardian was unable to find any charges related to her on the Manhattan's court online criminal case locator. Many details of the episode remain unclear on Saturday, including how Woltz and the man knew each other. Woltz is scheduled to be back in court on Wednesday. So yeah, this was an interesting little fucking crypto true crime tale that I definitely want to peel more on. I want to see what's at the center of this blooming onion. Where where's the sauce? What's the scheme? What's going on? I mean, once again, I'm sure that this guy is just trying to flip this dude for his wallet and then rinse repeat. But once again, I'm very curious how prolific this guy was. Was this his first big one? Or does he have other things attached to him criminally or whatever? But time will tell. We'll see if I can find out more. But yeah, we have one more story I wanted to cover. We got to talk tariffs. It's been a little bit since we talked about the trade wars and things of that nature. But, we'll close out on a little bit of an update there. But let's take our last break. Oh, oh man. I was watching this live stream guy, and he's in Wales currently, and he's doing like a wine tasting. And it's very interesting because I know there is there is a method to the madness when it comes to wine tasting. You know, down to how you hold the glass, how you move it around, how you intake it, how you swirl it around in your mouth, and you do tricks on it to get the flavor to come out and really get the notes of it all. But whenever I see someone do it, my broke ass just goes, this is so pretentious. And even when someone's explaining it to me, and I can go, okay, you're right, I hear you, there's still something in the back of my head just goes, just fucking put that shit to the back of your throat, keep it moving, pimp. What are we talking about? But I do understand it. At least I'm trying. I'm trying. It's just, once again, my broke bum ass, I just go, bam, another, bam, another. I sip it. Okay, that's about it. I'm not trying to gargle this shit so I can I really taste the flavor, the sweetness, the note. I don't. Come on, man. I don't care if it's red. I don't care if it's white. Just fucking put it in the glass or I'll drink out the goddamn bottle. I don't care. But that being said, I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Anyway, I'm so uncultured. Anyway, from the BBC. Trump agrees to extend EU trade talks. Ooh, after 50% tariff. Got a second wave there. U.S. President Donald Trump has agreed to extend a deadline to negotiate tariffs with the European Union by more than a month. Last month, he announced a 20% tariff or import tax on most EU goods, but later cut this 10% to allow time for negotiations. On Friday, Trump expressed frustration with the pace of talks and threatened to raise the tariff rate to an even higher level of 50% as soon as June 1st. On Sunday, he wrote on social media that he was pushing his deadline back to July 9th, after a very nice call with Ursula von der Leyen, the European Commission chief. Von der Leyen echoed Trump's assessment of the call and said the bloc was ready to advance talks swiftly and decisively. There's some more yada 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 here, but I mean, hey, this is good. It also is showing the pattern of the Trump 2.0 administration about how Trump wants to really proceed here. I do think that he wanted to go on this breakneck pace and drag the whole world with him, how at his whim and at his behest, and said, hey, if we want the economy to look and be this way, this is how it's going to be. But naturally, just like in the first turn, it doesn't matter how much juice he has. There is going to be a reaction that America is going to have to pay for. And it seems that Trump understands that. And he goes, okay, so I'm still going to try to have my cake and eat it too, but there's going to be compromises. And it looks like we're just going to keep having these negotiations, these talks, and you're going to see him maybe up the rhetoric, push the lever, really redline it or try to, and then come back. And then now we have an extension of the trade, shit being withheld or whatever. Now, of course, Trump has full discretion to change his mind on this shit and fully accelerate, really just take the floor out from everybody. But it looks like he doesn't really want to do that, as seen by the China conversation, as seen by the EU conversation we're having now. So yeah, he's just trying to get what he can get. I guess that this is the art of the deal, baby. I don't fucking know, man. It's annoying that we all have to kind of just recalibrate to the reality that he wants to set, and we kind of just have to go from there. That seems to be what the Trump administration is really trying to do for at least this year, going into maybe, I don't know, for the next rest of this term, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, interesting to kind of see the patterns and talk about it. And I mean, I think this is overall good because it doesn't matter whether or not you fuck with the EU or you fuck with China or you fuck with whatever. Like, economically, we are all in this way. We are all in this shit together. I don't even mean to say it in like a cliche, whatever way. Unity. I'm not trying to say it like that, but like what one does affects the other. And when we're doing all these things that up the price, well, then these corporations are only going to use that as a reason to be like, well, we're upping the price on the consumer, you know? And there's no wand waving that you can do that really undoes that. And that tends to be the real leader of things, the real master and commander of it all. But anyway, let's go ahead and close it out there for our Memorial Day episode. I don't really have anything else to add. So yeah, if you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/AZNews. Become a newsie today. The roll call is coming up, so if you want to get in there, good time as ever. No better time. I don't know, whatever. But I shout you out at the top of the month if you'd like, plug a project or whatever if you want. But overall, it's just a tip jar, just a way to support the effort. And there's some old archive episodes, I guess, too, if you want to go through those. Anyway, freeways, hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. That's a free action that helps out the fucking whole effort, trying to get to 500 there. But, I'll take a slow creep and really, no biggie. Anyway, hit that like button. Leave a comment. Sharing is caring. Follow on TikTok. Follow on Spotify. Follow on Apple Podcasts. Whatever platform you're listening to, whatever you prefer. I'm probably there. And you can keep up with me that way. Let's see. That's really it. For real. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.